Doesn't everybody get a little treat after they get a haircut?
What?
You
What do
know,
you mean?
like how you go to the doctor, you get a treat. Go to the
Yeah.
dentist, you get a treat.
Uh-huh.
Don't you get a treat after you get a haircut?
No. Not like...
I always get myself a treat.
I mean, I get like the little lollipop. I get the little dum-dum from the counter, but I don't
No,
like get
no,
a
man.
treat. What kind of treat are you
Nah,
talking
the
about?
1-2. Haircut and a Slurpee.
What?
Undefeated
Why?
combo, 1-2.
Okay. I don't know, man. That sounds a bit wild. Like, you making it sound like that's a
Look at that
common
gym.
thing. I just get a haircut and a Slurpee.
That boy look clean.
What if Marcus had a skin type of fade? Have you heard? No, you don't. You're not on TikTok. You got to get TikTok. Not to TikTok, but to watch TikToks. But you're still. I have to remind myself that you are not a fan of normal people being funny.
Yeah, I don't. It's very rare for me to find a normal person being funny. I think
Right.
professionals are funny.
Well, it depends on which professionals you're looking at.
So, correction. Professionals can be funny. Normal people, I don't find to be funny.
Then what about your friends?
My friends are entertainers.
But they're normal people.
They're all in the entertainment business, pal.
All of them?
All of them.
Okay. I don't necessarily believe that at all.
Mm-hmm. Every single one of them is in an entertainment business. Podcasting, wrestling, other avenues of entertainment.
What would you call a social media influencer?
That's not a real thing, Tim. Come on.
They make money at it. Yeah.
Wait a second. What do you do? Tell me more about this.
Dog,
We'll have to talk off air.
Oh my gosh. Like, I've literally been, okay, I'm not going there. I'm not, you had to make me have a spanurism or something, because I'm about to, man. Welcome to Find a Wrestling Place. I'm Tim.
I'm still Marcus, and I'm still sick. Can you believe that?
I am too, baby.
Still sick.
Yeah.
You are too, that's right.
Yeah.
We both came down with the...
I had a nasty. We'll get it out of the way now. This podcast is not sponsored by Tylenol Cold and Head Congestion Severe.
That's a great not sponsor.
This is a great not sponsor. Let me tell you how great of a non-sponsorship this is. Why at my advanced age and my look did I have to get carded to buy this? This is almost as bad as me getting carded buying Beavis and Butthead at Walmart when I was 25 years old. You remember that?
I do.
I'm just trying to buy the uncensored uncensored
Beavis and Butthead to America.
Butthead. No, it was like the series. It was
the series, okay.
It was the show. It wasn't even for me. It was a
right.
gift. I was getting it as a gift for somebody, and they were like, let me see some ID. And I was like, bless your heart. I'm old. And I throw my license now. And now it's like I'm buying medicine. And I was like, I scan the medicine. I scan all of my items, and it's all in the bag. And I'm just thinking this lady's going to come over and look at me. And I mean, I look disheveled. I look like a person in their mid-30s who don't care what they look like when they go out of the house, and they're just here to get groceries. I have mastered the look of I don't care what I look like. I'm just here to pick up groceries. And I'm wearing that outfit. Imagine that in your head. So I have all my stuff in the bag, and she comes by. I think she's going to do a little badge card and scan the little dealio, and I'd be on my way. And she goes, yeah, they just want me to see your ID. I'm old. What do you want? I'm over 18. I'm over 21.
Well,
There's no way you can look at me. Because this was 2 days ago, Marcus. Marcus, I have a neck beard. I'm letting
flu.
it all go.
It's a side effect of the flu or whatever we have.
The death. And like, I was like, sure. I didn't even want to fight. Almost effed around and bought the greatest hits re-release, Earthquake and Typhoons. I went to Walmart. They had both of them.
Oh, sweet.
They had both of them, and I was like, man, I cannot.
That seems like a sign. I think you should have got them.
I should have gotten them, but I didn't. So I'm gonna wait.
They were both together.
They were together. But one of the boxes wasn't like super great. Not a sponsor,
Okay.
covering the entire logo.
I'm trying to Andre hand my Coke can.
Oh. I don't know if I can do that. Can I Andre Coke can? No, I cannot. You can still.
Yeah.
Well, baby oil.
No baby oil.
What about Baby Earl?
No baby oil.
Yes. But no, I don't get treats when I get a haircut.
All right. Well,
I'm not
I do.
a treat boy when I get my hair. Let us know at TNM shows on the Discord, or the comment section of this YouTube episode, or what have you. Do you get treats when you go get your hair cut? And if so, what treats do you get? Side conversation. You get a Dum Dum from the person cutting your hair. What flavor of Dum Dum are you picking out? And this is where you and I, Marcus, I think we diametrically oppose.
'Cause I'm a butterscotch man.
Oh, I'm a butterscotchman.
Okay, well then this is where Mega Power is handshake.
I have 3 flavors. There are 3 acceptable flavors of Dum Dum. It's butterscotch, it's cotton candy, and it's root beer.
Yeah, those are the 3. Those are the big 3.
There's a lot of people who look like me, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of people who, and I'm not talking about fat people. I'm talking about the other people. The ones who look like these. The ones who look like these.
You know,
they're
the white people.
Blue raspberry's the best flavor of Dum Dum. Are you crazy? Do you know how many blue raspberries I've eaten because I thought I was picking up a cotton candy and I put it in my mouth and like, oh no, this is not it. No. I hate it. I hate it every second of it. But this is Final Wrestling Place. I think we did I'm Tim, I'm Marcus. Have we not done that yet?
Mm-hmm. We sure have, pal.
Okay, great. But this is our Valentine's Day episode. Valentine's Day is coming up at the end of the week, men. Get your reservations in. It's in
the middle of the week, pal. I just want to give you a heads up.
That's right. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Right, but I'm assuming that like most most adults that have common sense, you probably may have already had a conversation with your significant other, and either you've already done your Valentine's Day this weekend, or you're gonna do it the next weekend. But like, we all work, we ain't got time to take a Wednesday after work. Nobody wants to get cute. Nobody wants to go anywhere. Nobody wants to do the stuff and things. It's Wednesday. Wednesday is the night for laundry. It's not the night to make love. And so we, in honor of jumping ahead of Valentine's Day, Marcus found a nice little list that we're not going to pick over. We're going to look into the kindness, the fondness of our hearts, and not pick apart a list from one of the most reputable sources in all of everything, CagesideSeats.com.
That's right.
But we're going to discuss some good place, bad place, on-screen wrestling couples.
And full credit to this article you did mention is cage side seats, excuse me, pal. 10 best on-screen couples in wrestling history. This article was written by Marcus Benjamin in the year 2021.
And 21, yes. And of course, number one on the list is Savage and Liz, right?
For some, sure.
For them?
For them, yeah. Let's run it down. There we go, pal. Let's run down their top 10 real quick.
Sure.
And then we'll go good place, bad place.
Sure.
All right. So number 10, they have Tori Wilson and Billy Kidman.
Number 9 is Tom Dreamer and Beulah McGillicuddy.
And number 8, Miz and Maurice. And shout out Maurice. She's recently had shared a story that's definitely worth checking out on her Instagram if you haven't. Some scary health stuff that looks like thankfully a doctor was able to get ahead of. So, best wishes there.
For sure. Number 7, Brandy and Cody Rhodes.
Your favorite. Number 6.
Half it.
Oh, one of my favorites. Edge and Lita.
All right. Number 5, another favorite of ours. It's Dally and Kim Page.
Respectfully, number 4, royalty in the form of Booker T and Queen Sharmell.
Number 3, we've got Chyna and Eddie Guerrero.
Number 2, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
And then, of course, number 1 with a bullet, probably the consensus number 1 overall pick for on-screen couples. It is the Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. Yeah, that's who we've got from Cage Side Seats. Now, we're not here to discuss the validity of this list, to say how good or bad it is. We're just here to have some fun, for entertainment purposes only, and discuss good place, bad place on-screen couples. And I want to start off with a favorite of ours. It's an unsung favorite. I don't know for sure if they were presented as an on-screen couple, but to me they were. And I'm going to early 90s WCW, and I am picking up the Ravishing One, Rick Rude, and Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
That's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
At
the
any
Ravishing
point,
One is the Ravishing One, and Deucey is Deucey.
And here's the crazy part. I can't tell which one's tougher at any given moment.
Yeah, for real.
Because sometimes
they
Deucey,
definitely deserve a spot.
Yeah, Deucey, this is absolute good place. Medusa is sometimes the toughest person in the whole world, and Ricky Rude is sometimes the prettiest. And
there ain't gonna be no rematch.
That's right. Shout out to that episode of the A Show where you booked Phantom Rick Rude's babyface turn on Hulk Hogan in 94 WCW.
I sure did.
That was so good. So good. Thoughts on Ricky Rude and Deucey?
Yep, definitely deserve a spot in the top 10. Probably around just looking, maybe 8, somewhere around there, 8, 9. So yeah, an omission from the list. But hey, we're not here to remake the list. We're just here to put it as it stands in the good place or bad place, couple by couple. So
that's right.
Mr. Tim, number 10, Tori Wilson, Billy Kidman. How do you feel about their spot on the list?
I think they belong on the list because just the longevity of them. It's one of those on-screen couples that's also a behind-the-scenes couple. Billy Kidman's a
Hmm.
heck of a salesman. Uh, and yeah, man, Tori Wilson and her clothes could be a on-screen couple, and it's gonna make the list. Like Tori Wilson's that lady. I feel very envious for At Odds as they are now in the prime era of the beginning of height of powers for Tori Wilson. Because some would say
Yeah, I think
she came in 1999 and then she rode height of powers until what, February 10th, 2024, and
to this day.
and going.
To
It's
this day.
it's kind of like the Flintstone Vitamin song, 10 million strong and growing. That's what that is. You
Yeah.
know,
I was a big fan of Tori and Kidman, though. I really liked them together.
you were a big Kidman guy.
A big Kidman guy, man. Especially black jeans Kidman. Uh, yeah, we're talking. Yeah, that's my guy. That's like my WCW guy. I love Billy Kidman. A logical favorite. But yeah, like the little cruiserweight Bret Hart.
You know, everybody had to start somewhere, right? Allentown's own Bill Kidman,
That's right.
you know. Um, Another good place or bad place. I'm gonna go with an all-time bad place. On-screen couple. And
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. You just covered this, I think, on WWE War not too long ago. But when your relationship is built on Stockholm syndrome and and a sexual assault that turns into a pregnancy, and then that pregnancy goes sideways, and then you just fall in love with your captor more. Ed or Kane and Lita.
And somewhere in there, your captor becomes the proxy of Matt Hardy.
Right. Like Kane and Lita is an all-time bad place on-screen couple. Like if they would have gotten together in 2001, oh man,
Cool.
that'd have been the coolest couple in the whole effing world. Instead, we've got Gerber baby Kane, and we've got Lita, who is she out of, is this pre or post Edge? This is like right before Edge, right?
So the Edge stuff in real life had already gone down and was going down at the time.
Right, I knew that, but I'm talking about on
And
screen.
that parlays into Edge and Lita when they decide to stop fighting against it and they pair them up on television together.
Right.
So Lita and Kane directly leads into
Edge and
Lita and
Lita.
Edge, number 6 on our list. And for me, Edge and Lita is an all-time good place couple.
Oh, for
I
sure.
love Edge and Lita.
Right, Edge and Lita, there's nothing wrong with that. It's two hot people who are hot for each other, and it just makes TV sexy. It sounds greasy, but I'm not even talking about the wild sex celebrate or live sex celebration. I'm just talking about two people who were borderline height of powers at the time, just height of powering it up. Lita just
it points out a flaw on TV right now. Not enough hot people making out on TV.
There's not a lot of people making out on TV, period.
In my wrestling, there's not enough of it.
There's like none. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw two people make kissy face on wrestling television. Like for serious.
Everybody's all married and mature. Nah, let's get some wild making out on TV with ridiculously good-looking people.
Look, man, maybe we need to let some stuff blow over first. And
That might not be a bad idea.
And then we can dial up the lasciviousness and just break the knob off. But who do you have as a good place or bad place wrestling on screen couple?
Excuse me. I think a good place for me right here, number 5, Kim Page and Diamond Dallas Page.
We got a date. We got a timestamp on Kim Page. Is this 95 Kim Page or is this?
I mean, spring '97 wasn't a bad time.
It was not, but it was not 1995.
When was the last time you went back and rewatched some spring '97 Nitro?
Right after we record this podcast. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait until you go back in the phone booth permanently and stop saving the world so we can open up the Patreon and just be dumb. That's what I want.
If so you know how like we just had the Pro Football Hall of Fame nominations and finalists announced, right?
Yep.
And some people were like, well, what about Andre Johnson? You know, look at like who's left out and who's in, and Andre Johnson made it. And it's one of those things like time moves quickly. And so if you're the best at your position for like 3 to 5 years, that kind of like makes you a really strong Hall of Famer, at least like a strong Hall of Fame candidate. And that was Andre Johnson, right?
Right.
Kim Page, 95, 96, 97. Untouched.
98. She was still Nitro girling. It wasn't like she was dead.
I'm just saying, you know, hey, we had Sunny, we had Sable, we had Marlena, but Kim Page was at the top of the food chain,
and she was the only one. She was the only one on that side for that period of time. She was holding it down as like, single white female over on WCW until we get like Stacy and Tori and who else do we? Paisley, Tigress. Lots of interesting females come out of WCW in like 99, 2000. And the resurgence of Liz.
That's right.
NWO Liz. That's a real one right there, right?
1997. Might say that's a strong draft class year for WCW.
Yeah. Would you rather have the classy Miss Elizabeth, or would you rather the Liz that we were gifted in
Miss
WCW?
Elizabeth in 1997 spray painting people is awesome.
Yes.
It's my favorite version of Miss Elizabeth. Or the other favorite versions like 2000 Miss Elizabeth.
Just ripping the clothes off Lex Luger.
Yeah, she's with the total package. Total package. She's a key component of Team Package.
She's the which part is she? Is she team or is she package?
I think she's the team.
She is the team. And of course Lex Luger's the package. I have another good place couple. And I think we've talked about this before, especially when we were doing our wedding episodes. There is no confirmation for me that this was an actual on-screen couple. It was never said exclusively, but in my mind and in my heart, these two were a couple through and through. They handled business in the ring. They handled business outside of the ring. I have written many dreams in my dream journals about the loving relationship of Miss Jackie and the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm.
Triple stamp, the double stamp.
Dog,
Yep.
Ebony and Ivory has never looked so good.
And
'Cause
it's
Jackie-
another instance of like who's tougher. I think it's Miss Jackie in a runaway, but
all day.
yeah,
Because here's what happens. They'll go to the bar together. They'll walk in together. They'll be laughing and joking. And then Tennessee Cowboy is going to try to hold court, and he's going to get too drunk. And he's like, hey, man, come on now. Stop it. And he's going to try to charisma. He's going to riz the bar and get everybody to stop being mean to him. And then once they find the one dude who's ready to fight and they go to take a swing at James, Miss Jackie has already put that man through a table. He has gone to a bar, and then she just turns around and goes, who wants it? And everybody sits back down. Her and James can finish their pitcher of beer. They tip the bartender. They walk out, and they make sensual love. Maybe. Or they talk business. I don't know. Whatever kind of business they do. But in my head canon, just like LL Cool J and Queen Latifah are a couple in real life.
Yeah.
They are not. But in my head, they are a couple. And that is the Tennessee Cowboy James Storm and Miss Jacqueline.
You like Last Holiday?
I love Last Holiday.
Me too. It's good.
Love
it's a good movie. They don't make good movies like that anymore. You know, it's just a good movie.
I need LL Cool J to do some more spoken word. Can we get LL back for WrestleMania 40? It does.
Cool.
Spoken
That's a good
word.
They're gonna do spoken word. They're gonna do spoken word for the intro.
But is it gonna be Common? Is it gonna be Kevin
silly.
Hart?
Could it very easily be Kevin Hart? You know who was a dark horse? It could be Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, let me tell you, the incredulous nature of the World Wrestling Entertainment here in the city of brotherly love itself, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
The Rock comes back. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. Yeah, man. Let's talk about number one, Macho and Liz. You're number one all time.
Yeah, I think it's the blueprint. It's kind of like, what's your favorite Hell in a Cell match? It's Undertaker and Shawn, the first one. It's really tough to top Savage and Liz, especially with everything that takes place during the Macho King era of Macho Man. I think if Savage and Liz's dynamic stayed the same from when they become a couple through past the Mega Powers, and we never get the dark side of Macho Man becoming Macho King, siding with Sherry, dipping the toe into Zeus, and then like getting caught up with the Warrior Man. Like if we don't have if we don't have any of that, I don't think Savage and Liz make the list. But because we get the redemption story at WrestleMania 7, the stand by your man, Liz, jumping the guardrail, going tooth and nail with Sister Sherry, sending her out, and then Savage thinks somebody's trying to jump him, and it's Liz, and Liz is just like, I'm here, and then they reunite, and it's chef's kiss. That's what makes that part of the story at WrestleMania 7 makes everything else like so good. Go ahead, break my heart.
So you know how like when you're in Sunday school and they're like,
I
"All
ain't
right,
been in
who's your
Sunday
best
school in a
friend?"
long time. You had to run it back.
When we were kids
Welcome
and
to
we
a
were in
mini
Sunday
episode of
school,
church.
and somebody asked like, "Oh, who's your best friend?" And if you don't say
God.
God, if you don't say God, or if you don't say the Bible is your favorite book, then like you're wrong.
Right.
That's how I feel about Macho and Liz. It's like, yeah, they're number one.
They're
Like,
number
yeah,
one.
they
Like,
are.
right. Like you acknowledge their game. Like
Yeah,
it's like a really you want okay. To put it into sports talk, it's understanding that probably Tim Duncan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived, but refusing to acknowledge his sorry, tired, boring game. Don't nobody
yeah. It's
want
like
to
he's definitely.
nobody wants to acknowledge that the man who made a living off bank shots is the best player in the entire universe. With
Like, yeah,
like the kill.
he's without question like top 10. But it's like when it's time to make your top 10, like, do you really want to waste a spot on Tim Duncan?
No, I'm
You
gonna
know you
pick all
have
the
to,
dudes who
but you don't
dunk
want to.
or break the rim or like do crazy stuff. The only thing the craziest thing Tim Duncan ever did was grow out his dreads after he retired. Imagine how crazy Tim Duncan would have been if he was like boring on the court, but just had dreads.
Yeah.
Same dude, same everything, except you change the presentation to Timmy Duncan and you have Tim Duncan now doing Tim Duncan stuff then.
Nice little preview of Round Ball.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
So yeah, Savage and Liz are like, yeah, they're number one. But for me, and you mentioned, it's the Macho King and it's sensational Queen Sherry. That's my number one.
See, it's tough because it's like who is number one and who is your favorite? Like the conversation of who is the best and who is your favorite. Because like with best, you have to talk analytics. You got to talk about like you think of metrics and you try to like you focus on the things that like would make them memorable, right? But
Right.
when you're talking about your favorites, it's like you're talking about how you felt in your heart, And so for you, your heart is Savage and Sherry.
Yeah.
All right.
When I saw them, like, somebody's back is getting scratched. Somebody's eyeballs are getting plucked out. She's going to take off her shoe and try to choke somebody.
Yeah.
Macho Man's going to, like, bring the guy over to the ropes so he can, like, distract the ref and Sherry can get some shots in. Sherry's going to jump off the top rope if need be. I don't know. I love
Right.
Savage and Sherry. And the promos are chaotic.
So I have a either or situation for you based on wrestling couples. Okay. Neither of these were actually on-screen couples, but there was definitely some smoke in the city with these two potential couples. So based on some scandalous on-screen activities between these two, which pairing would you have rather seen make a run at being an on-screen couple? Would you rather Medusa and Sting? Or would you rather Sensational Sherry and the Ultimate Warrior?
That's a good one.
Because they live very similar lives.
And the angles are done so closely together, too.
And they both almost got mouth hugs on television.
Sure did. One on Ted Turner's network, one on pay-per-view.
They both, respectfully.
Warrior and Sherry would be insane, but
So crazy.
I'm gonna go with Medusa and Sting because eventually Medusa's gonna turn her back on Sting, and Sting's not gonna see it coming. Even though he might, and he should expect it, he's gonna always assume the best.
Right.
And
His mortal
I
flaw.
feel like yes, and I feel like we never got to see that with a woman. I don't think with Sting.
No.
I think Liz eventually did when he was like facing Luger, but that's like '99. That's super late.
Right.
Um, maybe 2000. So yeah, that's way later. Um, and they weren't like a couple. It was just like Liz was in his corner to help him. Inspiration. That's her main trait.
Right.
I would. Yeah, I think there's something there with Medusa and Sting. I think that would have been cool to run with for a couple months.
Right. Now, as a good follow-up, is there any time period in wrestling history, the then, now, or forever, or then now, forever? Has there been a couple that never ran as an on-screen couple that in your head you were like, man, I wish X would have gotten with Y and done a little run?
So just pairing two people up, even though they were never a couple, on or off
Right.
screen.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. That's good. I thought and Brucey talked about it on his pod way back when. The one time that like Sable and Stone Cold crossed paths, there was like this undeniable electricity between the two of them, and it was just a simple passing on the ramp, and that was all we got of it. But there was enough there in that moment. I think there could have been something good there.
Right. For sure.
What about you?
I'm gonna go in a different route. A little bit more modern. Even though I know they had some interactions backstage. All thanks to JBL's Mama Joanna.
Yes.
I would have loved more WWE champion John Cena and women's champion Mickie James. I would have loved that couple, like, especially as champions. I would have loved that so much. More than just, we're going to make out backstage because we're taking Mama Joanna. Not because we need it, because we want it. God.
Guzzle.
Why was WWE selling us Liquid Blue Chew like 15 years before Blue Chew?
Because a couple of the boys had investments in it, baby.
I just found the title of the podcast too. Liquid Blue Chew. Got it.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Neither is Tylenol cold and head congestion severe. It makes your dookie twinkle. Do you have any other good place, bad place couples? Maybe pull something that's not on the list.
Nah, man, that's it for me, dog.
You're good?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
I'll tell you one that should not be on the list. And this is a heck of a segue moving forward. Number 7 on the list is Cody and Brandy Rhodes. Dog. That's a great off-screen couple. But they do nothing.
Where's the output?
They do nothing for me together. The only reason that coupling was cool is because they could find a way to be clever and call them Cody and Brandy Rhodes. Back when Cody didn't have a last name. And you use them as a couple because Brandy can go by Brandy Rhodes, and due to creative language, if you just say Cody and Brandy Rhodes, oh, well, his name is Cody, but you get the implication. But that on-screen couple is not great. Speaking of on-screen coupling, that's not great. The last time we were here doing this dance, which is now the phrase that pays in WWE. Everybody's talking about, last time we did this dance, or you're my dance partner, or we're dancing, something, whatever. I don't care. But the last time we squared up on this podcast, which had everybody on the Soon to Be Named Network talking about how we broke down until it could forever and no longer be broken, what it means to finish a story. And talking about that ad nauseum. And I explicitly said to you, hey, let's wait for the press conference. Let's wait to get there. They haven't told us anything. It's a lot of mixed signals. It's a lot of questions. There's a lot of stuff and things going on. It seems like we're in a state of flux. The press conference is going to be a nice level set. And you said to me, you don't care about the press conference. WWE don't do anything noteworthy in these press conferences. So Marcus,
I did.
How we feel about the press conference?
All right, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this.
I'll let you have the floor.
With any good takesman, as the facts change, so can my opinions. And I wish we would have recorded Thursday afternoon.
I wish we would have too.
Because it took me all the way to Thursday afternoon to be like, oh, I think something's happening.
Dog,
I was getting there. Something.
I was trying to bring you along. That's what I was.
You were not there. You were there as a last-ditch hope that something would be fixed. No. You were grasping at straws.
No.
And you happened to hold on to one that would hold you up. I was not grasping at straws.
Anything, Marcus, I didn't need anything fixed. I needed them to show me something. Like, Joe and Adam broke the timeline down perfectly. After the Royal Rumble, Cody's point at Roman. Cool. Yeah. Then 2 weeks later, Cody is not giving, actually. He never said he was giving it to The Rock.
He visually steps aside.
They do the Predator handshake in front of the Final Wrestling Place logo. They got it. It's framed up in the middle. And Cody leaves The Rock to stare. Okay? After that time, thanks to Pat McAfee's show, The Rock starts sprinkling seeds of doubt and question marks all through what we saw on SmackDown, where he's just unprovokingly calling a pocket of Cody's fans the Cody crybabies.
I wouldn't say it was unprovoked.
It was unprovoked.
I mean, it wasn't. It was very provoked. He's people atting him online, people provoking and wishing death, even on his estranged, if not very talented daughter. He's very much provoked.
No.
Because people chanting "Die Rocky Die," Rock sucks.
They chanted "Rocky sucks." We haven't gotten "Die Rocky Die" yet. That's coming.
Sorry. Sorry.
But even at that point, The Rock was assuming that Cody had given up his spot, which is why the press conference was so vital, because it was going to give an exact answer, or at least try to give an exact answer as to what is Cody actually going to do with his WrestleMania or his Royal Rumble victory, right?
Opportunity?
His opportunity, right. There's that word again. Okay? So The Rock starts talking out of his mouth. He's talking out of the side part of his mouth. He's you know, sprinkling a little hate. By the way, a lot of people are like, we're getting Hollywood Rock back when they
Yeah,
heard
well, let's talk about that.
they heard the stuff on Pat McAfee. And they were like, oh man, Hollywood Rock's coming back. And in my head, I'm like, y'all must not remember Hollywood Rock.
Right. To be that's one of those things where I'm like, are you 20 years old?
Right.
You must be 20 years old.
Like,
you must have only heard about Hollywood Rock.
We became
this
Joe
is not Hollywood
Sposto
Rock.
at that point. How Joe looks at us for like being nostalgic about Edge. Like, we're now looking at the people who are talking about Hollywood Rock like, ho. No. You don't get to look at this Rock and be like, that's him. No. This Rock, the one who's talking about don't touch my chicken McNuggets and I don't want to have sex with you, that's just the Rock from 1998. That's just the Rock being the Rock, and then Joe is saying the Rock was doing lazy indie stuff. No, the Rock is being the Rock. All the indie dudes who have come past the Rock, who have literally copied an A and gotten an F, because the Rock's work turned from an A to an F through time. Like, it was cool in 1998 to call somebody a transvestite or whatever. Not anymore. Never. Can't.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that doesn't age well with old Rocky.
And his pet name for Kevin Kelly.
Add it to the list.
You know?
But what we did get, I think, was... Tim, when WWE takes what they would consider a risk, it more times than not massively pays off. Which leads me to think, why wouldn't you guys take more risks if when you actually take risks, it usually leads to a lot of buzz, a lot of clicks, and a lot of money? Why wouldn't you do that more?
The reason why I think we're taking a risk now, I am all but sure CM Punk was supposed to win the Rumble, not Cody. And everything that's taken place in the last like 2.5 weeks has been them trying to figure out what they're doing to correct the ships, right? Which is why at the very beginning, if Cody wins the Rumble, he's like, okay, I have to win the Rumble. Punk's not winning the Rumble, so obviously I'm going to go after Roman, so I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to point at Roman. Nobody's there to be like, yo, maybe just point at the WrestleMania sign, or maybe, like, I don't know. And then, like, plans change, pal. Things shift. Things work around. Things get moved. This is way simpler and way more cut and dried and less messy if Phil just doesn't blow out his tricep and wins the Rumble and it's him and Seth, sexy sex and boring death, all fine, have fun at Mania. Instead, we got what we got, and now we're cleaning it up now. So we get to the press conference, and The Rock's like, Cody doesn't want to make a choice. Or no, Roman's like, Cody doesn't want to make a choice. I'm going to make a choice. I want The Rock. Cool. Then The Rock comes out and he shows the Tree of Life from The Lion King. The only thing that was missing is he should have turned to Roman and been like, everything the light touches is our kingdom. Right? We have the giant tree with everybody's name. Even Lance Anoa'i's on the list. Gary Goodrich is on the list. Gary Albright, sorry. Got my Garys confused.
What about those shadows? That's TNA. That's where Samoa Joe lives. We don't go over there.
Right. What about that dark, scary place over there? And so we get all of that. And then we get Cody coming out. And to me, Cody has a point. Cody's like, I understand what's going on, but like Roman is not your it's not your place to make the choice. It's still mine. Right? We get to at that point we start to see gears get put into motion, right? And this is where the interesting part comes in. And got to give credit where credit's due. WWE knows how to shoot things when they need it to be shot a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
And that camera shot they had after Cody invokes the name of Roman Reigns' grandfather and invokes the name of the High Chief Peter Maivia, and how the two of them would be ashamed of Roman Reigns. And you have the facing shot of Roman looking at Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And the slow walk of the giant wall that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson passing in front of Roman and then being standing right in front of Cody with Roman back into Rock's left. And then Rock cuts the promo. His family's my family. His ancestors are my ancestors. His blood is my blood. And now we got a problem. And as soon as that happened, I saw WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. WrestleMania was done. As soon as that happened, WrestleMania is done.
All right, so let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
They have hammered home on SmackDown.
Yes.
Almost to a point where it smells like Angle Alert.
Yes, that's what.
With all clarity, your WrestleMania main event is Cody versus Roman. Cody's made his decision. He's decided to face Roman. That is the WrestleMania main event. Everybody please be happy. That's how they're hammering it home. But I now think that match is like the third most interesting option.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the first most interesting option, which they lucked themselves into, is Cody versus The Rock.
See, I think that's number 2.
Okay, and then I have the tag match.
The tag as number match, 2. Because when I watched the press conference, I saw 2-on-2.
Correct.
I saw the unlikely alliance of The Rock and Roman Reigns over family stuff, and the unlikely alliance of Cody and Seth, who were just disrespected, dog walked, lapped, all what you can say on a public stage.
The workhorses of WWE, if you will.
The chefs in the kitchen versus the people who claim to be the head of the table and ain't served a plate in 2 years. You know, I really love the thought of Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. Main event, the whole deal. And
okay, so now let's talk about it.
No titles. No world titles defended at WrestleMania.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
I am fully on board. I think, 1, the house is already sold. Okay.
Yep.
2, there's not going to be any empty seats at WrestleMania. 2, I think the women's division has been strong enough that those are your world champions. Those are your world titles. And you've got this Intercontinental title, which you have put a lot of work into with revamping with Walter.
I don't even think the Intercontinental title gets defended at WrestleMania.
I'm just saying, if you need 3 of it, I think you have 3 high-profile singles titles that can be defended over 2 nights at WrestleMania. Now, I mentioned 2 nights of WrestleMania. What I don't want to get into is what's been hypothesized of tag match night 1 and then singles matches on night 2. I am, to my core, so solidly and vehemently against people pulling double duty across night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. I think when that happens, you cannot put that toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
When that happens, you lose the attraction that is WrestleMania night 1, or excuse me, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday.
Right.
So I am very much against any situation that involves anybody wrestling on both nights of WrestleMania. I'm strongly against it. There will
So
be another one next year. You can have Cody versus Roman next year.
Right. In my head, this is how it plays out. The tag match at Mania this year, Cody Roman at SummerSlam, or in between Mania and Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And you get Rock Roman 41. You build it all the way out. Because you have to do Rock versus Roman. Like, you have to.
Right.
You absolutely have to. And whether that's for the WWE title or not, it has to happen. I don't think it goes for the title. I think by that time, and this is the only time I'm going to say it, and I don't want to go through another 15-minute fight with you on this, Cody gets the belt off of Roman. Mm-hmm. Not at WrestleMania. Somewhere down the line. After Mania 40.
And it will be to lesser return and of lesser value, but it's going to happen.
It's going to have great value because whoever takes it off of Roman.
I didn't say it won't have great value. I said it's going to be of lesser value. It will not be as well done as it could have been done.
Okay, so it'll be an A instead of an A+.
Sure.
Still an A. Still great. Okay. So if we talk that, does Cody lose the World Heavyweight Championship before Mania?
You mean Seth?
Sorry. Does Seth lose the World Heavyweight Championship somewhere in between?
I think it would be awesome. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome if Seth's doing a talkie bit on Raw and you have surprise Rock and Roman come out, beat him up, and then that's where you utilize a Damian Priest cash in.
DP, baby.
Everybody loves DP.
And that way you can pull out the World Heavyweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on somebody else. You could even hot potato it around. Because I don't think Damian Priest is going to be a super strong World Heavyweight Champion.
Now, to me, that's where you can have, when you have such a strong upper mid card, and this is why to me it's so vital that Roman is the star of WWE right now, because when WWE has that star to book around, they're very good about putting everybody else in the roles that they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't have Roman Reigns where he needs to be,
right,
Cody wouldn't be where he needs to be, and Seth Rollins wouldn't be where he needs to be. They would be trying to fill that role that Roman is in. Not that they can't for a little bit of time, but Roman is he's the guy.
Right.
So that trickles down to when you have strong upper mid card guys that could take a step up. Not unlike in 2004, 2005 when you had Jericho and Christian and Edge and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Those kind of guys. You kind of have the same thing now. When you do have a Finn Balor and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Like, these guys, they could very easily, in the course of WWE now, they could be main eventers.
Right.
And you know, they'll main event house shows and TV and stuff like that. But they could very easily headline a WrestleMania with an ensemble cast or whatever.
Right.
And I think that's what you do. I think you pull into that. And maybe it's Priest versus McIntyre versus, whoever. Maybe you pull from SmackDown because there seems to be some loose pieces from SmackDown. Right. Orton or LA Knight or AJ Styles, or maybe it's 2 and 2.
Well, so that's the thing though, is because Priest is not involved in the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber qualifiers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Damian Priest is off to the side. I believe they'll be defending the world. They're the tag team titles in Perth
It's a British strong style.
against British Strong Style, where the titles change hands.
Okay.
Because to me, I don't think Damian Priest cashes in Money in the Bank as tag team champion.
Gotcha.
The tag titles come off, go to British Strong Style. You get the openness of that tag team division again. Like they're really starting to build something, I think, which is crazy to say, but I think there's like a good 5 or 6 tag teams now in WWE that you can float around.
They had that little tournament on SmackDown, like across Raw and SmackDown. I was like, oh, they got teams.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the New Day who are coming back together. You've got Imperium. You've got DIY, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of DIY, but they're a team. They're good. The Creed brothers. You've got British Strong Style. You've got Pretty Deadly. When the Street Profits. When the Viking Daddies get healthy together, you've got them.
Right.
You've got the Alpha Academy. You've got the new team they announced on SmackDown of Cedric Alexander and Ashanti the Adonis. That's going to be I think that's going to be a fun tag team if they let them rock. But you open up those tag team titles. Priest cashes in Money in the Bank, wins the World Heavyweight title, and then that's when the Judgment Day starts to turn on themselves. They start to implode. They don't implode until WrestleMania and the Monday after. I think that's what Monday after Mania, Damian Priest loses the tag title or loses the World Heavyweight title to whoever wins an Elimination Chamber for Mania. And they can't have it. Damian's been trying to be the leader. He's not the leader anymore. They kick him out. They blow it up. But I'm just so interested knowing that, like, in my heart, knowing that even though Triple H heavy-handedly said the main event is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, the main event is not Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And that's what makes me happy. Now, what if it is?
Whatever.
Right. Why do something so cool at the press conference only to go to the least common denominator?
Right. I don't want like Rock and Roman's corner and like Cody to have like America and his wife, whatever. I don't want that.
And you know what else I don't want?
I don't want Phil in his corner.
I don't want The Rock as the special guest referee. I don't want that.
No.
You want to know what'll
it's right there. It's a tag match.
Right. You know what would make Cody's win over Roman for the world title mean even less than Cody doing it the second time around, not at WrestleMania? If he does it when it's handed to him by The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, you know how cool it was when Kevin Owens won the Universal title after Triple H literally pedigreed Seth Rollins and gave him the title?
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. That's the top 5 Universal title change of all time, which isn't saying anything because that title's cursed. Unless Roman Reigns is holding it. That title is cursed unless Roman's the champ. But needless to say, WrestleMania is going to be fun, dude. I'm really looking forward to it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much WrestleMania fever do you currently have?
I'm at like an 8.5, but if the main event is actually Cody versus Roman, that fever is going to dip down to like a 3.
I don't know if I've ever heard you say that you've got an 8.5 WrestleMania fever
I'm
in
feeling pretty
early
high.
February.
I'm feeling pretty well. We just had a super interesting thing happen at the press conference, man. Like when WWE decides to be interesting, it's pretty good.
Right. Yeah. When they're on top of the world, they're on top of the world, baby.
But when they decide to take risks and do something interesting, you've got me.
Yeah,
So they've got me now. They will lose me if it remains Cody versus Roman.
for sure. I'm glad so for those listening at home or listening along with us now, we usually record on Sundays, but we're recording today on a Saturday night, because Marcus is going to be pretty indisposed, come Sunday. Marcus is going to be neck deep in Chiefs Kingdom, right in the thick of the warm of the Super Bowl. Chiefs 49ers in what is it, Allegiant Stadium in
Arrowhead West.
Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so I'm just glad we're recording now because we've got Marcus at like the happiest he'll be, barring outside forces.
That's right.
You know, the game has just been played in his mind about 57 times.
Dude, I'm so ready to go. Chiefs 28. Yeah, give me Chiefs 27. San Francisco 23.
So
But they cut it late.
Dan Patrick has Chiefs 27, 49ers 25.
Okay.
For those opportunistic folk, the line is 1.5.
Back down to 1.5. It did get as high as to 3.5 on some books. Settled it. It was 3 on Friday. And then a lot of big money bets have come in to get it back down to Chiefs plus 1.5, which would be San Francisco minus 1.5.
And the over under is
47.5.
47.5. The last I saw.
Look at that, off the top of the head.
Let me look.
I might have a problem now.
No, you're very in tune to the game. I'm going to actually be a double parlay Jones guy.
All right.
Because I think I want to do, I don't want to mix 49ers and Chiefs on a parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to do like a no sweat 49ers one where it's like,
okay,
Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, Brock Purdy plus 250, Brandon I like get like a 3 or 4 bet for 49ers dudes, and then like do the same for like the Chiefs. And then I'm going to put a single bet down on the MVP. You there? Did you okay. But yeah, I got an idea on who the MVP is going to be.
I'm here, pal.
Good.
All right.
Who you think is going to be MVP?
So I'm betting Patrick Mahomes.
Everybody who's listening to this already knows because it's already come out. But you saying Pat Mahomes?
Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, plus 145 odds. Last I saw earlier today. So if you like the Chiefs to win, you could just bet Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. Since MVP awards are almost exclusively a quarterback award, a little sprinkle on Chris Jones wouldn't be bad either.
You know where the real sprinkle is?
Travis Kelce.
a little plus 2,500 odds to Isaiah Pacheco.
Hmm.
I think Isaiah Pacheco comes out and gets 2 running tutties.
Okay.
And Pat. It's nice to be Pat Mahomes, but they're not going to win because of Pat. They're going to win because Isaiah Pacheco is going to be angry running all over the 49ers.
I certainly hope so. I believe I said it earlier this season. I think in our Chiefs chat, but I said Super Bowl on Pacheco's back this year.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Also, an anytime touchdown. I'm really feeling an anytime touchdown for MVS.
Okay, playoff MVS is real.
Playoff MVS
Not
is
a bad
real.
Play. Justin Watson would be another good one. 49ers get carved up on like wide receiver 3 and 4s. So Justin Watson for Kansas City, MVS, Sky Moore. It's not announced if he's going to play or not, but he could be available.
Tony starting?
Yeah. No, not confirmed yet.
Okay.
I really hope not.
Look, man,
I will be really nervous.
Honestly, look, I'm going back to the last Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl, Kadarius Toney was like your knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
Let him just go out and cook, baby. Put him in these gadget plays. Let him run.
Just because we got away with it once doesn't mean we should try to get away with it a second time.
Yeah.
The offense is humming through the playoffs without Toney, without Sky Moore. The only addition I want to see back is Jerick McKinnon. It sounded like he's going to play. So.
And you've heard what Chiefs Kingdom wants.
What's the Kingdom want?
The Kingdom wants Big Andy to give Jerick his touchdown from last year.
Okay.
Because Jerick slid on the 1.
That's right.
Close out the game. They're like, yo, give him his tutty. And if he can, I think Jerick McKinnon will get it.
The 49ers, again, I say this, 20 hours before game time, the 49ers have been very susceptible to screenplays, which Big Andy is a god of.
Loves.
So you're looking at Rashee Rice or Jerick McKinnon just breaking one of those bad boys. I think it's going to happen. So we'll see, but I feel good. Chiefs have a very comparable offense to the Ravens, and what the Ravens did to the Niners. I mean, they made the Niners look like an expansion team. I mean, they looked awful against the Ravens. Steve Spagnuolo with 2 weeks to prepare. Big Andy with 2 weeks to prepare.
Big Red.
Travis Kelce with 2 weeks off. 2 weeks of rest is huge. I feel really good, man. Not cocky. I definitely respect the 49ers. They might have the greatest cast of weapons since like Greatest Show on Turf.
I think it's beats Show on Turf.
They are just stacked with just 10 all pros or whatever on the team.
Yeah.
So they're definitely stacked. I respect what they can do. They can definitely break one at any time. But my faith is in Big Andy. My faith is in Pat Mahomes. A lot on the line in the Super Bowl. Correction. It reminds me of the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. And also the when we lost to the Bengals in the AFC Championship. We should have had that one. And it's one that got away. And Pat hasn't thrown an interception in a playoff game since that game. And because it eats Pat up. And it's time to finish the job.
Right. Would you dare say finish the story?
Would not, because the story doesn't finish till Pat's got 8 Super Bowl rings.
Come on, guys.
Because for some people that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah.
I know them all too well. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your Super Bowl halftime show with Usher. Let's do a little pre-cap of the Usher halftime show. It
Mhm.
sucked.
A lot of I have a feeling that the racist dog on Twitter is gonna have a very busy night. A lot of barking and wolfing gonna be going on during the halftime show. I think gonna see a lot of people have a problem with the halftime show.
Oh yeah,
Um, I mean, yeah, as the first song has to be what minus 175.
yeah. I'm trying to think of like what songs actually go. Well, actually, I don't know if it's gonna be yeah, because like yeah, it's not just an Usher song. You need Luda and Lil Jon, right?
You definitely need Little John for the chorus, but you don't need Luda
Yeah,
for
you
the
do.
back end. I would like Luda.
You get them.
Ludacris one of my all-time faves, but I think you have to start with yeah. Usher's kind of a weird pick for a Super Bowl. I don't know many like
Let me pull it up.
pump up the jams. Like I don't know any Usher songs that get me pumped up.
I don't either. Usher singles. Because all the ones oh, it could be OMG.
Oh man. I feel for that. You need Will I Am more than you need Lil Jon or
You could get Will I
Ludacris
Am.
for
Will I Am is very gettable.
hmm,
Okay. Singles is a lead artist. Um, I'm not counting any of the earlier stuff, but You Make Me Wanna, Nice and Slow, My Way, Pop Your Collar, You Remind Me, You Got It
yeah,
Bad.
we're gonna get that.
What, You Remind Me?
We'll have those two for sure.
You Don't Have to Call,
No.
Yeah, Burn,
Mm-hmm.
Confessions
Mm-hmm.
Part 2, My
Yep.
Boo.
Again, gotta have Alicia Keys.
She's gettable. If Dr. Dre can get Kendrick, Snoop,
Yeah, but weren't they all
Mary
announced
J.
though?
Blige.
They were all announced though. Everybody was announced.
Look, you can
You
still
would
do.
have had Alicia Keys announced. You would have had Ludacris announced.
Yeah. Love in This Club. So after My Boo, you got Caught Up. Love in This Club.
Oh, Caught Up's a good one.
Caught Up's good. Love in This Club.
My personal favorite from Usher.
Which one?
I love in this club.
Yeah. Then there's a couple songs here that I don't think did anything good here. But then you get
Yeah,
OMG.
he went real quiet for a
Yeah.
while.
You get OMG. There Goes My Baby. DJ Got Us Falling in Love.
It'll get played for sure. Yeah.
Hot Toddy with Jay-Z. And then boy, I can't tell you any of these new Usher songs.
The new Usher song's pretty good. I forget the title of it, but it's pretty good.
Ruin?
No, I don't feel
Kissing
like that's it.
Strangers?
Nope, that's not it either.
Is 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne on it?
I think so.
That's
Maybe.
Transparency.
Yes.
Okay. But
Oh, it's good. Good. That's the song I'm thinking of.
Good with 21 Savage.
Yep. That's good.
Okay. So now there's Usher as a featured artist. Let's look at these. Because you could pull somebody else from here. Looking through. Ooh, David Guetta. Without You. That's good. Lovers and Friends.
Something else you got to do with Lil Jon. I feel like Lil Jon has to show up because that's with Lil Jon.
For sure. Yeah. Little John.
So you get 2 songs with Lil Jon.
But there's a couple Usher songs we can't do anymore. We can't do Same Girl, R. Kelly, R.I.P. You can't do I Need a Girl, P. Diddy, R.I.P.
Those are no-goes.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, like, because of health issues, you can't do Usher, Justin Bieber. Because
what's wrong with Justin Bieber?
Bieber's got he's kind of got like Bell's palsy.
Oh shoot! Dang.
He's like he's getting like facial paralysis. That's why he hasn't been around very much.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I think I have that right. Yeah, but Justin Bieber's been real quiet lately. Let me just double check the IMDb just for those who care about Justin Bieber and what he's doing. Where is Justin Bieber health? Here we go. Where is it? Oh, he has Lyme disease. Where's the Oh, he has Ramsey Hunt syndrome type 2, and half of his face is paralyzed.
Sheesh.
Yes.
It's awful.
Yes. So, craziness. But if Justin Bieber's going to come back, do it for a Super Bowl. Him and Usher one time. Like, just dance around, do it, and call it a day. That'd be fun. I think that'd be so fun. But I doubt we'll get there. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun when the Kansas City Chiefs bring home their 3rd Super Bowl in the last 5 years. How about it?
Make Taylor Swift's 13th football game that much specialer.
Let's go. It all adds up, baby.
What's 13 and 87? That's 100, baby.
That's right.
So needless to say, there's a lot of fun to be had, a lot of things to talk about. We didn't even talk about Sting and Darby winning the tag team titles. We'll get to that next week. Because we'll need to find a way to pick Marcus up out of the doldrums or to find a way to level him out, regardless of how the Super Bowl ends up. But a couple of housekeeping things before we go. Check out the At Odds Patreon next weekend. Myself, I will be leading Brett, Marcus, and a third man through the mid-season round ball conversations. Very excited to see what you three have. I've done a whole bunch of homework. I've done more homework for this free show on Patreon than I ever do for Final Wrestling Place. It's sad. But I love this. This is fun.
It shows your commitment.
It shows my commitment to the Patreon. It's going to be so good. You're going to wish it was behind a paywall. But that's going to be fun. We're recording that during All-Star Saturday night, I believe. Did we say Saturday or did we say Friday? Friday night. Friday night's all right for fighting. So we will drop it during All-Star Saturday. Because we'll be going over All-Star Saturday night. We'll be talking about the All-Star teams. We'll talk about our prognostications for the beginning of the year. And talk a little splash or trash, and you'll find out what all that's about a little later as we get down to that on the Patreon for At Odds next week. Other than that, Do you have anything you need to plug, Mr. Marcus?
Just March 9th, Enjoy Wrestling up in Pittsburgh. They got their show Odyssey. They do a big Odyssey Battle Royal, I believe. There's going to be some other matches. Enjoy if you have the opportunity to go. Oh, there's that word again. You definitely go up. I think an Enjoy Wrestling show is unlike any other experience that I've encountered in independent wrestling. So you should definitely make the trip up. It's well worth it, and yeah, it's a good time. So Mr. Pig's going to be there doing what? Who knows? But he's going to be in the house.
Who
But that's it for
knows?
me.
Nice. Soon to be named network.com, soon to be named network.tumblr.com. It's your home for this and so many other podcasts, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings of At Odds with Wrestling with Joe and Adam and We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett. Get everything you need on Twitter at STBN Network, where all of the podcasts, whether on or off the network, if we're network adjacent, it's on the network in one-stop shop for you, soon to be named network.com. That includes Puzzle Warriors 3, Profane Arguments, Hayabusa. I heard there's a possibility Hayabusa's coming back. Like, my heart is racing on like the next Ed Cody project. It's gonna be great. Whatever it is, however it is, why ever it is, I'm looking forward to it. But of course, go through the history of No Chance in Helmet. It's there. Go look at Wings on Wings, Marcus and I's favorite podcast on the network. And, you know, go back and listen to all Final Wrestling Place again. We got a bunch of classics. I think we got classics. We got a bunch of stuff.
I love the social content for Wings on Wings, too.
Yeah. They got, do you see the little microphone now? They have a little microphone. Now what they need is like little finger hands. So like little tiny hands they can put like fingers in to hold the little microphone. So it looks like it's two little hands. I just find that. I like little gags like that. But of course, you can follow me on social media at Another Toolman. Follow Marcus at the Wrestling Speakeasy. If you know, you know. At TNM Shows on Twitter. At Final Wrestling Place on Instagram and Threads. Twitter, let us just make our name Final Wrestling Place. We can't because it's too many characters. So we're TNM Shows, but it's fun. Follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe if you want to get it somewhere else. Of course, we're available on any podcatcher of your choice. We will be back next week to, you know, maybe talk Marcus off a cliff or pull him up from the bottom of a cliff or pull him out of the clouds. But right now, Marcus, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
Bye, boys. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.